higher than anybody in 1 and 2.
He really is running a very, very high line down in 1 and 2, and that just seems to be working very well for him. The bad break that Matt Kenseth has caught was watching Ward Burton, who's currently in the 2nd position as he tries to close in on the leader. The bad break Kenseth is getting right now is main adversary, the 8 car, got through the traffic a lot better than he did.
Let's drop back to 7th place. Remember, we saw John Andretti get nosed into the wall off the front stretch when he and Casey Atwood got tangled together back at lap 76. He's made a nice recovery.
Man, he's got a lot of damage to that right front fender. I'm surprised he's getting through the corners as well as he is, actually.
This is for 7th place. And there's your championship leader, Sterling Marlin. And the old silver bullet.
Now the 29 is going to turn. Wow, what a great run he got in the middle of the corner, talking about 29 of Kevin Harvick.
I think Sterling's going to take advantage of that move as well.
We heard in Discover Car Countdown to Green, Kevin Harvick talking about Richard Childress Racing and the struggles they went through earlier in the season and how things have really started to march forward for them. They put the exclamation point on that with a victory last Sunday at Chicagoland. We put a TNT Racecast poll up. Wanted to know if Kevin Harvick's victory in Chicago was proof that his season has turned around. A lot of you folks don't think so.
2/3 of you don't think so. Now, Matt Kenseth, the 17 car, currently in the 5th position, closes up on the back bumper of Jeff Gordon, trying to get by Jeff.
Still a lot of radio chatter between these drivers and their crew chiefs and spotters about track conditions.
Now, I was going to say, if you run on a guy's bumper like that, eventually you're going to wear him out. He actually probably got into the back of the 24 a little bit.
He's in a hurry.
And Jeff loses 2 spots as Ryan Newman, the 12 car, goes by.
Let's check out the lead. Ward Burton starting to put some pressure on Jerry Nadeau. Good drive for Ward, 31st. They used some pit strategy to get him up front, but still.
And they're running good laps, though. I mean, they're watching the times here, and they're running fast laps, so their cars are pretty good.
And like we talked about before, track position is king.
Yeah.
And whatever it takes to get it.
All right, now, last time we asked you how many laps it was going to take for Junior to pass Kenseth. What's it going to be here? Well, never mind.
I think Ward's going to get him real soon.
Never mind.
Real soon.
I was trying to set you up for another fall, and it didn't work out.
Jerry hanging out.
He did not roll over and play dead, I'll tell you that.
Okay, how many laps?
Okay, let me think about that.
Trying. Can he cut it down and get underneath it?
Well, he made a nice cut right there. That was impressive to be able to do that right in the center of the corner. So I'd say it's his. Yep.
Ward Burton's out front, but he better get going in a hurry because Dale Earnhardt Jr. is trying to follow him through past Nadeau. 116 laps to go here at New Hampshire. It's happened again. Flagman's had to pull that yellow out and wave it over the New Hampshire International Speedway. 9th one of this race.
And I think we can look at the back of the Pennzoil Chevrolet and figure out that what might have happened to cause him to spin. Looks like someone ran in the back of Paul Steve Park. Big time.
Well, let's check it out.
There we see him coming off the corner.
Well, BP, he just did what everybody else is doing. Got that right front up in the marbles, and
the wall ran into the back of that car.
The wall ran in the back of the car. I see.
Will Schrader call that the slide for life?
Oh, Kurt Busch just gets by Steve Grissom. All right, here we go. Pit stops are beginning.
Oh, we've got a wide variety of things here. Some have pitted, some have not. Dave?
Leader Jerry Nadeau subbing for Johnny Benson. He gives up the lead, and he will have to make another stop after this. There's no way they can go all the way. Air out of both front tires. He needs the car to grab a little bit better in the turns when he turns through the corners. Matt?
Dave, they're going to make both a wedge and track bar adjustment on Jeff Gordon's car. He last pitted on lap 123. They had about 35 to 40 more laps on their tires. That's why they started to fade, and they could not one more stop from this juncture. You could hear the disappointment in Jeff's voice when he acknowledged Robbie telling him he couldn't make it on one more stop.
111 laps to go. That is out of the range for anybody to make it, but what this is set up for these guys who pitted is that fuel-only quick burst when the remaining pit stops happen a little bit later on in this thing. Mark Martin among those who put himself in position with that strategy.
And here's where we've seen some problems in the past anyway, Benny. The guys that didn't pit, that had those tires on, they pick up those marbles and junk on the yellow. And we've seen some guys slide up. That time they got through 1 and 2 pretty clean.
As you watch the running order at the top of the screen, the first 16 on the lead lap did not pit under this caution. The first guy to have pitted is Jerry Nadeau. He's in 17th place right now for the restart.
So a lot of different strategies playing out
So
right now.
now all the guys from Nadeau on back have stopped. So let's talk about the guys who didn't stop and the guys who did, and what each of those mindsets might be for strategy.
Well, I think the guys that did stop are just like Benny and I were talking earlier. They're setting themselves up to have the best tires they can. If this thing goes green right now, and I got 4 tires on right now, all I'm going to do is gas and go, BP.
Even if the caution flag comes out, if I make a pit stop, it's going to be gas only. Jerry Nadeau has changed tires for the last time, I think, in most of those cars. And I don't know about the 8, the 22, the 7. The 22, I think, has to stop again and change tires. But it may be that Junior and the 17 of Kenseth will not change tires when they stop for fuel.
Ward Burton the leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. second, Matt Kenseth third, Ryan Newman fourth, Kevin Harvick fifth.
Oh, look at that Junior get that run off turn 4. He backed up, tried to get him a great run. All he did was succeed was getting up to the back bumper of Wardburg and not alongside.
Almost got into him there. Listening to some conversation between Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his crew chief Tony Uri Sr. Here's what he had to say a minute ago.
Yeah, I just ain't quite as good as I was earlier, and I can't really point to why. Other than I just the front kind of ain't working like it was.
And Bill Elliott is off the pace. Looks like he might have gotten up higher. Maybe the same thing happened to him that happened earlier when the engine just quit running on the 9. But meanwhile, you did see the 17 car of Matt Kenseth take over that second spot from Dale Earnhardt Jr.
About 2/3 of the way through the New England 300 presented by Stacker 2.
And Jeff Gordon is almost in the wall. He got up high down at 3 and 4. Somehow was able to keep the car back under control. Did not make any contact.
Just joining us, story of this day. Very tricky, very slippery track conditions that even the best of the business are having trouble handling. Tony Stewart went out after getting up out of the groove and popping the wall in turn 4. Kyle Petty, same thing. Now Jeff Gordon.
Oh!
To be out on a track.
That was Jeff Gordon's radio. He's not happy. Jeff Green is running in 8th place, trying to defend that from Ricky Craven and Dale Jarrett.
And Jarrett slipped down, and Ricky tried everything he could to get underneath and slid a little sideways. And we got Michael Waltrip in trouble right there.
And Terry Labonte down at the bottom of the racetrack also stopped in that incident.
Well, Kurt Busch gets a lap back, so now he's only 3 down.
Michael is fired up and continued on away. This is caution number 10. By the way, the record for most cautions in a Winston Cup race in New Hampshire, I'm sure that was going to pop into your head soon.
It had already, but go ahead.
17.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so we got a ways to go before we catch it. But 10 2/3 of the race, the possibilities exist.
You know, here we are on lap 199. I'm not too sure that anyone can make it from here on fuel. Someone might try it.
Yeah. They would be stretching it.
Yeah, they might have to try it. Some guys will, based on the cautions that we've had today. So that would increase your fuel mileage. So I guarantee you some guys at the back of the pack are going to try it.
Well,
All
here
right.
comes the leader.
Ward is going to come in. Jeff Green. Looks like Dale Jarrett, Elliott Sadler. A lot of these guys, you think, are setting themselves up for a fuel mileage run, Marty.
Ward Burton is here. The only adjustment to this car is they pull 2 tearaways off the windshield. It will be 4 tires, a little slow on the rear tires. They cannot make it all the way on fuel. Tommy Baldwin, the crew chief, told me this morning they are terrible on fuel mileage this weekend.
Well, that's
One car that won't be playing fuel mileage.
no.
Matt?
Well, Alan, Jeff Gordon says his car is really, really loose on new tires. They're going to put sticker tires on this time. They're also going to make an air pressure adjustment in the right rear. They went down a half a pound, closing up that staggered force is down and away.
Well, we know for sure that he has changed tires for the last time.
That's real important for those guys that stayed on the track now to keep those tires clean. This is so crucial right now to the yellow. Keep them clean.
And you know, all these caution flags today have left 31 cars on the lead lap with all these different pit strategies to go on. Anybody could win this thing in these final 100 laps. 1 to go now, the signal at New Hampshire International Speedway. The green flag flies next time in the New England 300 presented by Stacker 2. There will be 94 laps to go when we get this restart. Turn 4 has been the trouble spot today.
See, Kyle Petty got up high, could not turn the car, made contact with the wall. Same exact thing happened to Tony Stewart. Steve Park, the back end got loose. Would not grip anything. He backs it in the wall. Jeff Ford, no, almost hits the wall, but not quite.
Now let's explain. We talked about the construction that was done to the track. New surface that was laid down on the inside, and the debate is bouncing back and forth down on pit road. Is it pavement that's coming up? Is it old rubber? What is it that's coming up that's causing all these people to slip and slide?
I don't know. My guess is it's pavement. It's to the little stones on new pavement, and they rolled up outside the groove, and you get inside, you get your car in that, it just will not turn. Whatever wheel happens to hit it is going to slide, either front or rear.
And until they stop the race and you can go down and look at the racetrack, there's no way to tell for sure.
It doesn't matter. There's nothing they can do. If it is the track coming up, there's nothing that they can fix to make this any better for these guys today. It just can't and it won't happen. So, like I said, you got to drive either underneath the problem. Well, that's the only thing you can do right now is drive underneath it because you can't run high here.
So, track conditions are tough. Now we've got some strategy coming into play. We've got a pretty good race for the lead here, too. Matt Kenseth and Dale Earnhardt Jr. have been the 2 dominant cars for most of this race.
And Junior, once again, is trying to take that lead. He's taking a look. Couldn't quite get a run on Kenseth.
Just remember, Matt's car takes a long time for those tires to really stick after the cautions.
Bill, you got to talk to Robbie and see what their strategy is. Are they going to change tires anymore? He got all the tires he's going to get. Here comes Junior on the inside for the lead. Last by. That was more Kenseth being the brakes than it was horsepower on the 8-car's part.
Okay, let him go. Yeah, these 2 last stopped at lap 159, so they are going to have to stop again, but there are some under this last caution who are probably going to try and not pit anymore this race. Try and get some track position. Marty?
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. out on the racetrack. I just talked to Tony Eury Sr. and Jeff Clark, the engine tuner. They said their fuel window was not, they were not in their fuel window. That's why they did not come down pit road. If they get to lap 215 and we get a caution, you will see Junior down pit road.